Okay, I like the market right here to the long side. We're on the 7:30 US Central time period, just after where I'd typically be willing to take trades. We just had a ad bubble, so I got long. The market is sitting right at a key level, and I like this here to the long side. It's early in the week. We're on a Monday, and very frequently we get range extension pressing into the early pre-market hour, leading into the 8:30 U.S. Central Time open. So the fact that there's a ad bubble, I will initiate trade. So I put on 2 MNQs. Now we're getting some serious push. So it's that I typically will start taking trades about 7:32 U.S. Central Time. Now, if there's a news release at 7:30, that gives me 2 minutes to let the market settle down before I would, have the automation trigger into a trade. So I'm going to see if I can get $710 per day on a 150K account. This is just a 100K account, but we'll go for 710 a day, just like as if I was trading a 150K account. So this whole exercise is to demonstrate why I use the 1-minute chart template. We just had another ad bubble. So I put on another 2 MNQs. I'm in 4. Now the market's breaking up to pricing levels it has not traded before. So right when about 7:31 or 7:32, whenever that first trade entry was, I was expecting some sort of lift, but this is really pushing here. And there we go. We're way over 710. So now I could have just moved stops up, but I'm just trying to demonstrate the effectiveness of using a 1-minute template for trading the MNQs. Okay, so I have the automation on. We're coming up on the next day's trading. We're past the time we're right in the time window where I'm starting to look for trade activity. So we're sitting here and we're in a long. I'm just going to let the automated strategy, since we're kind of in the middle of a recent range, the first potential trade we could get here automated would be a short trade, since we're already in long mode right now with the iGRID indicator. So remember, the iGRID indicator, we do use unique math, kind of unique programming style, and two-dimensional smoothing. And we're just waiting we basically, we have the strategy on, and we're waiting for it to trigger us into a trade. And the only potential trade we could get at this point from a automated standpoint would be to get triggered short. So if this just takes off and runs, I'll miss out until later in the day if we got some sort of reversal. So we're here coming up through the US cash session open period. So we should start getting a bit of range expansion. So we'll see if we can get triggered into a trade. And again, we're just going for $710 a day with the automated settings on what I would typically go for on a 150K account. 100K account, I would not be going for 710 a day. 500 a day or thereabouts fine. The bottom line is the objective here isn't to go for a high dollar amount per day on a on an account that's like 100, 150K. It's to have a really high probability daily profit objective and then add more accounts. The focus should be on consistency and duplicate or having some capability to be right 16, 17 days a month and maybe have 2 to 3 to 4 losing days a month max. And then, that's those numbers come out just great. So when the NASDAQ moves, so a lot of days, it's, very narrow range or junk days on the NASDAQ. We only get about 1 or 2 a month. And a lot of times I end up still winning on those days. Or at least, get to a point where I might be up a little bit positive. It's getting late in the day. And I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I'll blip out the trade and call it good. Okay, we're starting to break below these pivots that I've been marking here. This is kind of our recent range. It's starting to expand. So a little push lower, and there we go. We just got the iGRID short. If we can go down and break below this recent support, we could accelerate a bit to the downside. So the market, you can see, kind of came up and tested where I have that little horizontal line up above. It came up and tested an area from before. You can see where my stop is way up there, profit target down below, and the automation just blipped us right out. So that was quick. That was a one and done day. Got in one trade automated and it was done. So that was a nice trade set up there. Got a short, and right away the market got sold into and broke down quick. So one and done. I'm surprised how many one and done days I get each month, even on the 1 minute template. Well, on the 1 minute template. On the scalper stuff, I'm used to being in at least about 2 to 3 trades per day to kind of get where I want. Okay, so the market is sold off here prior. We had a bit of a bounce in the overnight session. We're coming up to 732. We're getting some lower pivot highs. And got some so we're coming into the 732 time window. If we get a bubble here, I would sell this. We had a big sell day prior day. Especially if we get a push below these pivots, this could break down. There's the bubble, get into 2 contracts short. So since we're in a downtrend on the iGRID, we're getting a big sequential set of lower pivot highs. I'll take a shot to the short side, so I just enter the trade manually. Now if it flips to the upside and takes off, then I'll get triggered in long by the automation. But I am in the time window, and I like what I'm seeing here. I could just sit on my hands, wait for the open. And on this particular day, market has had a period where it accelerated and went down to test that low pivot. See if we can get down there a bit more. Need to get to 2100 and change to be out for another 700. So we came down. This is a level sweep. So this is an area where it could reverse. So I could just blip out of this trade and call it good, but we came down with some authority. Let's see if we can break down more. Everything's still short. Heikinashi 1's short. iGRID was short. We do have that other level, so that's acting a little bit like a magnet. So we're not quite to 7 and then another 710 added yet. So I just missed. We're sitting at 2100 and change there, I thought, for about a moment. I should have just blipped this trade out already. Because 3 days of trading, if I can be at 2100 or above, I'll call that good. So yeah, there's a kind of a cluster of levels down here. So anyhow, we'll stay in the trade. We'll see what happens. Had plenty of opportunities to blip it out, but that was a pretty strong move to the downside. So we'll stay in this and see if we get some lift, come back into the prior range, rotate lower, and then see if we can come down and break these levels. Or the next push below that, we'd be well over goal, and that would be the area to just check out. Just hit the close button and call it good. So 3 days of trading, anything north of 2100 after 3 days of trading is what I would call objective. Now here we had rotated up pretty high actually. That was a pretty significant counter rally. Still positive in the trade. Rotate lower and a dot would give us another entry. There's another entry. So now we got 4 contracts. So it's not going to take as big of a push lower to get me to my 710 because I have more position size on. So the 710 per day consideration for a 150K account. On a 300K account, 1100-ish to 1200-ish a day I think is a good target. If you really want to trade safe, just get 300K accounts and go for like 5, 6, 700 a day, play it totally safe, make your money by having lots of accounts. So anyhow, we blipped out, we got over the 2100 and called it good. The mindset is just get what you can out of the market each day, use the automation, use the tools to get you some portion of a monthly objective, but break it down day by day. Use one of the templates, use one of the setups that we train to go in and get something that's very consistent day after day after day, and then make your money by adding and having many accounts. And with the automation or the tools running on NT8 with the trade copiers that you can talk out to FTT or other accounts, add more accounts, make your money that way. Don't try to go and make a really high dollar amount on just a few accounts. I think that's the wrong approach.